Bernie, so we have a legislative session coming up. What's your take so far?
Well, it could be one of the worst sessions I've ever witnessed, and there's a lot of negativity, to say the least, surrounding the potential outcome. But you know, normally these things go till the last 20 days of the session, maybe 14 days, and then legislators come together and they come up with a plan, and they trade and deal and go for this and go for that, and all of a sudden, in the last 10 days or so, a budget finally emerges and everybody can agree on it and it's passed. But this one's a little different. You've got a lame duck governor. You've got an enormous deficit of $1.6 billion. And the backdrop is that this isn't the first year. This has been going on for 5-6 years. So the previous cuts make any cut this 2015 session, have a greater impact than any time we've ever seen. I don't know if there's ever been a session like this where we've had 5 or 6 years of deficits, and then we go into the last year, which is the worst year you could pick, when the governor's, reaching the lowest point in their ability to get things done, and you have a $1.6 billion deficit. You've got the anti tax mood. You've got the realization of these cuts cannot be avoided. You can only move so much money around. You can only use so many accounting gimmicks, and this is the backdrop this time. So it's an unusual, unique situation for Louisiana, and none of us who've been doing this for a while have ever seen a session approach with so many dark clouds. And I'm sure that the public is probably a little immune to this. I might add, we've been saying, oh, this is horrible. How will Jindal get out of this? How will the legislature finally break free from Jindal and do their own budget? And all of these discussions, which have been receive a lot of coverage for the last 4 or 5 years, none of it really materialized. Something always came together and something was passed, and pundits, and myself included, take particular aspects of the budget and say, well, they did this and we don't like that, and they took money from this pot and moved it over here. But the public, by the way, really, it's not that engaged to the minute details there. All they know is that the budget was eventually passed. They may have used accounting gimmicks, but there wasn't dramatic, horrible cuts to the extent we're facing this year's, and they weren't asked to pay more taxes. So they listened, they paid a little attention, and nothing happened. So, this year is another one of those years. The consequences are far more grave as far as to be concerned, but I'm not so sure the public believes that this will eventually happen. They've heard it so many times now, and they're probably a little immune to it. So we'll see if the public picks up on this and how this eventually plays out. But it's not a great. The outlook is certainly grim at this point in time.